This episode of On the Delivery is brought to you by Haley Bug Creations. Any sticker or decal that you want, she can make. You want to customize? She can do that too. Check out her Etsy shop. The link is in the episode description. There you will find a large variety of different decals and stickers made from premium vinyl that is sure to last. So guys, get yourself or someone you know, a Schmedlex, Smiley, or whatever company they work for. Get them the sticker, okay? You will not be disappointed. They will not be disappointed by the quality of these decals. And now, let's get on with the show. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us. That's right. This is episode 100, guys, and we are all here together in the flesh. Guys, let's go around the room, okay? Starting with my co-host down in West by God, Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you, buddy?
Dude, to actually see you stand up and go hit that fucking soundbite was a pretty surreal moment, man. That we're at episode 100, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted that it's taken 100 episodes, almost 2 years to get together, but we're here, brother, and it's fucking good, man. It's fucking good.
Fucking
I'm
right.
good. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Also, continue going around the room. Our producer, Nate, he's not on camera, but you guys can hear him. He actually exists. Nate, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
I'll tell you what, I always say book on tape, boys. He does exist. And for some reason, Nate's taller than I realized. I wouldn't say from the cell phone because Nate doesn't, he is now on social media. You may see him. This is fucking like unicorn rare. You're going to think you're seeing Sasquatch, but it's Nate's Instagram account.
That's right.
Awesome. Nah, brother. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was gonna say, dude, it's fucking awesome to finally meet you, man. And it's been real. We've had a good time. I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening, and however many more this fucking train allows us to run. But yeah, dude, it's good to fucking see you.
Absolutely. Also, continuing going around the room, right here to my right, Joe and Amy Rogan. How are you guys?
We are awesome. I can't believe that we're actually here, like physically. This is wild. It's like, we rolled all this way to see you guys, wouldn't miss it for the world. So it was only 19 hours to get here?
How many miles?
I just did the calculations. It was 22 hours and it was 1,354 miles.
You guys are fucking awesome. Put it here, huh? Yes.
But everybody is fucking real. It's like it's not virtual anymore. I mean, it's
we are not catfish.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
We're here.
You're authentic.
We didn't
the real
catfish
deal.
each other. We are literally we realized we all exist. And for both you guys, I said it means the world for us that you were able to make it. And I know 1,300 miles is not a lot to you guys, maybe to, I won't say to, but fuck, I had 186 miles here. And
You're still like,
I
damn.
literally was bitching about my knees as soon as I got out of the car. Nobody was even here yet. I saw Jay recording me through the window, and I was getting out fucking feeling like I'm the Tin Man with no oil. And
We were about 500 miles before we got here, and Joe's like, "We're almost there. We only have 500 miles left." It's like, it's only 8 hours.
it's a different, I mean, when you're, it's what you get used to. But again, I think if I would be in a company truck, I would. I mean, for the rooster sound, I guess I'll go ahead and just say it. You all know what it is. And but I was actually in my mother-in-law's car to come here because my wife, we had a appointment. So she had our Jeep, and I'm like, I'm not little. That thing it's not a big fucking car, and yeah, I felt like a fucking sardine in that thing. So yeah, 186 miles kicked my ass.
You got your pepperoni rolls to fuel you, right?
I mean, I only ate one. I had to save them because I wanted to spread the wealth to everybody in this room. Everybody in this room has never had a pepperoni roll, to my knowledge. And here I am eating fucking one of them.
I still haven't. That just sounds gross to me.
And that's okay, Amy. It's all right. But I don't. There's a lot of food we would eat that would probably. I mean, they have to fucking fry everything where I live. People will fry cauliflower and sell it at fairs. Something tells me I have to. I mean, I can get. People obviously know he's here. I can give a shout out, right?
Let's give it to him.
Shout out. Tony Cook is here, ladies and gentlemen. And I've compared a lot of stuff with myself and Tony, even though geographically we're not in the same area, but we basically are the same. Our state, you would say we're more of the same. But I'm just going to ask, fried cauliflower. Have you heard of that where you're from?
Absolutely.
I knew it. I knew it. I was sitting there thinking. I said, if anybody would know what fried cauliflower is, fucking Tony would know. So Georgia and West Virginia, we're just two of the same.
I thought you were gonna die tripping over the cords there, running over.
Just did.
Dude, I know, man.
We're not used to these challenges here.
No, we're sitting there thinking we're in.
Wear pants too.
Yeah, we're in Zooms. Yeah. I can say this now while we're now all in the flesh that there has been. I'm going to think maybe. I have to think offhand. I'm going to say I want to say I could count it on one hand. But there has been times through this 100 episodes that I may or may not have pissed in a cup or a bottle when something serious was going on.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Luke said what? He's pissed in cups and bottles when we've been recording episodes? All right, before we get into that, because we know that's going to be fucking hilarious, got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers, everybody. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. So, huge shout out to Tony, Sam, Ashley, Andrew, Fernando, Nick, Clement, Tad, Luke, Ryan, Will, Chuck, Jacob, Sean, David, Kayla, and RJ. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It means the world to Luke and I. Because without your support, we would not have been able to all meet up and record this episode 100. So again, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us and being there with us. You guys are fucking awesome. But now, let's get back to the story about Luke talking about peeing in cups and bottles during our podcast recording, shall we? Here we go.
Yes, I have.
What?
During the show?
Like, probably, I can think of 3 times. 3 times that I did.
Mad respect.
No way.
And the bad thing is that I literally have a bathroom within fucking 12 feet, maybe less, than where I'm sitting. But there was times when people were going and it was serious and I was like, man, I don't want to get up, and I've had a beer bottle or I've had something, and you know, I've pissed in bottles. I piss in bottles every day basically anyway, so I've gotten pretty good. I didn't dribble any urine on the floor that I know of. It's been clean since then.
But you
anyway.
never pop off camera, so
No, I mean, I'm in fucking reaching distance, man. Like, we're sitting there, all right. When this
you're telling me you're just chilling there at your desk, and you're just like fucking whipping it out right in front of us. And
3 times I've done it. Yes, 3 times I've done it. I've pissed my well, not really pissed myself. I've pissed literally right in front of all of you. You just had no idea. No
Holy
idea I was
shit.
even doing it.
Do you remember which episodes? Do you remember if we had guests on?
Well, they were all
they
guest episodes. They were all guest episodes.
Name them, please. Go fuck.
I'd fuck if I know, man.
'em.
I don't remember the guest.
Come on, you gotta remember
They were from early.
gotta
They
remember
were
the
all
faces.
2 of the 3 were early. So
I find out what his
Holy
pissing face
I think
looks
one
like.
of them, Jesus. I think I remember what one of them is. I can't believe I
Go.
can say this.
Go.
Oh Jesus, no, it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't. No, I was thinking maybe it was Katie's episode.
I was just
But
gonna
it wasn't
say-
Kate. I didn't do it for Diary of a Wife, but I did. My 9th dog bite happened the night we filmed or recorded Katie's episode. That was my 9th dog bite I had. I got bit in the fucking arm, and
I just love that you admitted this right on our 100th episode that you've pissed in bottles a couple times
three times.
been recording.
And they've all been early. They were all pretty early on. The last one I want to feel like it was like episode 50 something. I realized I have a bathroom nearby, and Nate is a very good editor that he can just cut it out if I need to. It took me a while to realize this. I'm a low tech guy. I just figured I'd just do what I know. It's in my wheelhouse to piss in bottles.
Nate, have you ever heard dribbling going on during a podcast?
That's a new one to me, Luke.
I knew it. I fucking knew. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And you know what? The only person I hate to call it. To call them out, I don't even realize it's only good fun. It's not too embarrassing, but I think there's only one. We've had a guest that we know have pissed on an episode.
Wait, the guest pissed on the.
Yes.
Wait, what?
You remember that.
Cochran?
No.
What?
What recent guest have we had on that we saw got up and pissed during the Zoom call?
I don't remember.
I feel like I shouldn't bust him out because maybe he was discreet about it and he was good, but Dave actually pointed it out to me. But he was on mute, so God bless him. But Tony Higbee pissed on episode, and he was discreet, and it was high. You never would have noticed, but we saw.
You probably didn't notice.
We saw the room shift, Tony. I didn't mean to call you out. I'll say that I embarrassed myself by I literally pit. I pit.
Tony, great episode though. Great
amazing episode. It was an amazing episode.
That's right.
And I'll say that it was fucking. Little did I know that fucking moose would be so fucking dangerous and so fatal. But I want to say that to make it to where Tony knows I'm not picking on him because we noticed that you did it then. But I'll say this: you actually went to another room.
Yeah, legit.
You went to another room, to your bathroom, when I've pissed 3 times. 3 times. I've literally seen a fucking toilet in front of me. So I'm more like it doesn't get any worse than that, man. That's Neanderthal. That's like anybody from West Virginia that's listening locally is like, motherfucker, like what the fuck? Yeah, I'm that guy. I've done it.
I mean, this is just the shit you get on the 100th episode. We're gonna just spill the beans and everything that's happened, and just reminisce about everything.
To think that it even got to where we even made it far enough to where we could all fucking get together to do something like this. I know we'd had a few episodes leading up to this to talking about everything, but it's fucking wild that it finally happened. But it's so like
it's been too long though. I know we mentioned this on past episodes, but it's been too long.
Oh, it's been absolutely,
and it's all because of fucking COVID. Let's be honest.
COVID and
COVID ruined us all.
Here's a shout out to both of our wives. We love you, and I'm not going to say one way or the other, but both of our wives were staunch. I mean, we weren't going to. We were going to ride this thing out for a while before we were traveling around and doing that. I'll just say that. We love our wives, though.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was.
I mean, dude, Ashley's 8 months pregnant.
She's 8 months pregnant.
Right now, my wife's home dealing with 2 boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Huge shout out to the wives. Not only our wives, but let's be honest. With the jobs that we do, we've talked about it before. The wives don't get enough credit because they are the anchor down at home while we're all at work.
And husbands as well in our field for the female drivers.
That's right.
For you husbands out there, God
That's
bless
right.
you.
They're feeding the kids. They're getting the kids in the bath. They're the ones putting them to bed when we ain't home in time to be home.
When they're saying 9-5, saying, dude, man, Fernando, shout out to Fernando Loaiza. He had such a I mean, he put an Insta story up the other day, and it was one that just rang, just basically of how we've never shit on the company much. We've said that. We really haven't. And
Nobody has, even our guests.
But the only thing we've
Nobody
had
has.
shit on is the system that is called Orion. And we will continue to make fun of that because it's fucking bullshit. And
True.
you know, I will ramble. I ramble when we're in Zoom, and I will ramble when we're in person. When I fucking the itinerary updates on everybody that's listening to this, it's on under the brown banner. You've probably dealt with these if you've had a Diet 6 now for a little bit, because these have been around for some weeks.
You got to tell them who we talked to today at lunch because Luke wasn't here.
Real quick, off topic. We talked to a driver when we were at lunch today. When we were at lunch sitting outside eating lunch earlier before you got here, we were outside eating lunch. There was a driver that walked by, and I'm not sure if it was Joe or Tony who recognized it, but he was like, oh, he's got a 6. So he walks by us again after delivering, and I'm like, yo, how many times has that 6 crashed on you? And this guy, right there it clicked. He was like, this guy knows. Like, they all know. And I'm like, yeah, I work there. He works there. He works there. I was like, we're all there. And this guy went off. He knew it. He was like, dude, we just got him this past Tuesday. And he's like, they fucking suck. He's like, I've been with the company for 22 years. And I hate change. And then we get these things in. And I got to restart this thing all damn day long.
I've said it before, and we've said it again. The time of fucking instant gratification going from screen to screen is over, and you are at the fucking mercy. Shout out to Porno Parcel RJ. Fatal Prophecy. We got Fatal Prophecy fucking banners flying high in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Fucking rights.
But he has a driver that literally has to. We're in 2022 now.
Oh, yeah.
We're in 2020 fucking 2. We're sitting here. We've been able to record all dozens and dozens of episodes by never even being in person. And this poor bastard has to fucking deliver on a fucking... He's got to write shit down on a piece of paper and come back to sheet everything when he gets back into service because the Diet 6 is on cell towers. So,
It's all because they decided to go to cell towers, the AT&T cell towers.
Yeah, AT&T butt fucked everything.
They need to go to Starlink.
I'm going to say another thing with AT&T. This is you guys are going to get a mini rant here, and AT&T customers, I don't give a shit because I'm still one. I've been a cell phone. They bought out Cellular One. They forced me into their servitude, and I've just never left. But I had Dish for the longest time, and I guess now it's funny. We've been doing this podcast long enough that when we were first doing this, we would have said spoiler alerts, but we obviously know that Game of Thrones has been over for a while, and Season 8 sucked. We know
fucking
that.
sucked.
We're Game of Thrones people. But one thing that AT&T did, because we had Dish, Ashley and I had Dish for the longest time, and fucking AT&T bought HBO, and AT&T owns DirecTV. Mm-hmm. So they fucking I go to look at something on demand on HBO on Dish, and it's fucking ganked. And I was fucking furious. And this has been years ago now, but it fucking pissed me off so bad because I was like, how much more do you need? You're just buying up, I'm Cellular One. Who remembers Cellular One? Nate, do you remember Cellular One? All right, so they weren't that. Okay, so some people, everybody remembers Cellular One here.
I remember Cellular One.
Like, what the fuck else? They're going to keep buying up people and say, fuck you, you got Dish. I live in West by God, Virginia. Rural fucking areas, man. I wanted to watch, and little did I know, if I would have knew last season of Game of Thrones would have sucked dick so bad, I wouldn't even have worried about it. But I was pissed, and I fucking complied. I got their shit so I could be disappointed with 6 episodes of season 8 of Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry if you start to watch it and you haven't got to that season yet. You'll fucking thank me later.
It fucking sucks. Let's be honest. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, man, that's
but-
2018, man. We're good.
So 100 episodes, man. We've been through the ringer, if you will. I mean, the first 3 episodes, we had 4 hosts. Shout out to Brad Mosier, because Brad really wanted to get here for this episode, for the 100th episode. He wasn't able to make it, unfortunately, but buddy, we're thinking about you, man, and we wish you were here. So we appreciate you, man.
Brother, you're here with us always in spirit, and when the time comes for us to meet up with you, it'll be an awesome fucking day.
Oh, absolutely.
And that, it's we all came. I mean, literally. I mean, well, we all were from the East Coast, but literally from different portions of the East Coast, and not really. I mean, Brad's especially. I mean, it'd be a hike for him to get to us. So it's obviously understandable.
Right.
But yeah, when that day comes in the future, though, brother, I'm absolutely looking forward to the
We're
day.
looking forward to it.
And yeah, brother, I said it. Said it before, and I'll say it again. You're part in this pod. You have just as much. I mean, just as big of a part of this as anybody, man. Because it started, the foundation of it, man. Got it started, and we ran with it, and we kept running, and we're continuing to run. We've had different. We went into that story where we've had different runners.
Yeah,
and different people, but it's been a great ride, and he was. He's absolutely a part of that, man. He always will be. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, totally.
Sorry if you saw it. If
Totally.
you watched that
And
on
it's
YouTube.
like-
Swimming pool floating thing. You know what I mean?
And it's like, we've gone, God, to 75 episodes with just me and you now.
Let me hold on. I'll be able to tell you. 74.
74 episodes.
Yep.
Now, 100 episodes. So 74 episodes, just me and you. We've been through a lot of changes, if you will. And here we are, 100 episodes deep, still pushing strong. And, let's reminisce on some of this stuff. I mean, let's take it back here. So
That's what she said. Sorry. I had to.
I was
good. That was good. That was good.
I'll see it
That
in
was
the
good.
corner.
I was
All right,
thinking.
put it there.
I was
Put it there.
thinking it too.
I saw it in
That
my
was good.
peripheral. I could see it.
That was
waiting.
good.
Oh.
I was thinking it too.
This is what makes being in person. God, this is what makes this incredible. Because I probably wouldn't even have saw that or caught. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't have, because I would have saw the incredible logo of the Rolling Rogans. Because normally when we're recording, excuse me, it's just Dave and I on the screen. So I wouldn't even have saw that build up.
Yeah.
And that makes us that much more special.
Well,
I could see it.
Dave's eye contact with you is just phenomenal. He's just having so much
I'm
fun.
fucking right there, bud. I'm just staring you down like a hawk.
I'm having fun watching this.
I am just. This guy's right here in front of me. Holy shit! Look
do
at the
some heavy
muscles on this
breathing.
guy.
Like
Holy
a sex
fuck!
doll, man. I didn't even flex yet, man.
I know what.
I didn't even flex yet.
What?
Dude. Nah.
Say it again.
Yeah, there it goes. There it is. Jesus.
So
That's the eyes. I made him put the sunglasses on so his eyes wouldn't fucking hypnotize me.
It's those green eyes.
yeah, I don't want
Those
anybody to see my
gorgeous
eyes. I don't want to
eyes.
be any
Look into
distraction
those
over here.
gorgeous
Okay.
eyes.
I'm trying to think of.
You know how much people like my eyes.
I'm trying to think of other times that we could have said we could have fun at laughing at people now, since I've talked about pissing in bottles, and we talked about Tony, but I'll give a shout out to somebody. Speaking of pissing in bottles, shout out to Mr. Ernie Martinez, craft beer snob. One thing we can say about his episode was we had Oh wait, I always forget Nate can edit. See, this is what I do. This is why I pissed in bottles in the first place.
You got to
But
pee right
Nate-
now?
No, I'm fine. I was talking about Ernie.
Oh, okay.
But so Ernie was the unicorn that never pissed in bottles and filed grievances when one of the greatest fucking story of Ernie that he got has to be when the supervisor handed him a bottle to say just piss in this, and he filed a grievance on him, and I know that supervisor had to feel like such a dipshit. I'm sorry, management. I know you're going to try to pull one over from time to time, but that was a dumb one. And fucking Ernie's a vet, man. He wasn't going to go with that shit. But one thing we can say about Ernie, he likes his IPAs. And how many IPAs would you say Ernie had during our episode, Dave?
Let's be honest. 6.
Dude, and they were probably like 12% alcohol.
They were definitely high up there.
Ernie
Ernie. Come on,
was
buddy.
slamming them. But dude, I mean, what a fucking, and I mean, that's even more, just even podcasting, just being in social media and all this, just meeting guys like him and having him. I mean, what a blast it is, just the relationships that you have with people.
Absolutely.
But he's got, for for me, he's always been one of those guys that always say, like, he'll jab at the fucking shit. Like, he literally, the fucking cow that I call, if you follow me on Instagram, that I call the bull horse, it was him that was literally, because when I look at animals, I look at them all like they're dogs, and I don't realize there's it's a big ass bull. And I literally made an Insta story saying, God, you're a horse, and I would say that like it's a fucking dog. And Ernie just gives like the, just fucking no emojis, no nothing. It was like, I think that's a bull. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I know it's not a horse. But so then I started calling it the bull horse just to be fucking stupid. But nah, it's just one of them little fucking tidbits you get with people. Oh, what are we doing here? We got a Latex Tommy's in the fucking shallows here. I don't know what's going on.
We're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, could I just say, Luke, it is an honor, since we're meeting in person, that I was able to hand over our cat Juno to you, and you get to say the words, "Come here and let me see you."
Dude,
I saw that made your day. I saw the smile on your face.
the honor was all mine, and I plan on, I'm going to get my own Kodak moment with her, because I didn't get one. I was just in the moment. Because I feel like in a lot of times in this digital world, a lot of people don't live in the moment anymore now.
True.
If it was going like a high buy situation, I might have done something then. But I knew I could record something later. But I absolutely adore your guys' cat. I've always been a cat guy. I've always been a cat person. And I love dogs too, but my mom bought a tomcat we called Petey, and he lived for 17 years, so he was a year older than me. So I had that cat for 16 years, and I have a soft spot for cats, and I think Gino lives a life that just, I don't know if they even realize, I guess but you would think just envious. You know what I mean? Like, you see dogs and cats stare out windows of houses. You know what I mean? And you just, like, I think of our cats growing up and shit, and you just see them looking, and they're like, damn, just seeing it's a big world out there. And I know the van's kind of her kingdom, but, whether she realizes it or not, it's pretty awesome. She gets to live a life that most animals can only dream of. I'll say that. But yeah, what a great cat though. And she was a good sport. She was sleeping, looked pissed off.
Yeah,
I held her.
we woke her up and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Resting bitch face.
Yeah,
most of
she
the
didn't
time.
seem too
No
thrilled.
offense.
No worries.
But that was the thing, though. She was all right, though.
She's been diagnosed geriatric now, so it's totally okay.
And instead of staring out the window, she stares at the wall. So she just into
She
nothing.
was definitely staring at me like I was telling you guys.
The
And she's like,
thing-
what the fuck's going on
The
here?
thing with her, her eye, she's got like, she's almost got like rattlesnake eyes a little. Like she's got a scowl to her some. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I knew as soon as I picked her up, I was like, oh, this cat's not gonna fuck me up too bad. She's brittle, but she's healthy. She's old. She's old.
She's only fucked up one person. It was a 2-year-old, so.
Oh, I can handle. I think I could handle that then. Nah, but that was so cool seeing Gino. That just like seeing all you guys. It was. I mean, that was just seeing her was just as surreal as meeting everybody. And I really, because it's like, I don't know, it was something with. I follow other. I mean, Gino's my favorite for sure, hands down. But of the other animals, I follow other animals too. But I literally, and I'm not being biased because it's your guys' cat. I literally like the other accounts that I follow. I'm like, yeah, they get in their own little world. They're not going out. They're not living like Gino is. So yeah, I do. I could talk about Gino all evening. It's just such an awesome cat, and the pleasure was all mine.
So, 100 episodes in, let's go back and review some. Okay, so the first. Gosh, when there was 4 of us at this time, we had episode 3, okay? Episode 3 was the first time we ever had a guest on. That was Misty Wellborn.
Shout out to Miss Terrific.
She was, like I said, first guest we ever had on. And honestly, huge shout out to her because I think she helped jumpstart this podcast, especially out there in California.
The California base, she definitely did.
Definitely in
she
California.
Definitely are, because we literally, and I mean, and still to this day, I've always used the illustration of being the kid in the fucking pool with the floaties getting guided around by the adult. Like it's still basically like that. I have no idea what numbers of any kind or anything it goes on with this. I mean,
like,
ask from time to time.
like I will tell you. So California is the most, or California as a state is they are the state that most listens to our podcast.
And I remember when we first, because Misty being episode 3, because we were just seeing how it was going.
Yeah.
We were like, holy shit, we were seeing. I remember because I was looking into it at that point, and yeah, it was. We had it was the jump start, and it stayed. I mean, it literally. I couldn't. I mean. Of all of our guests, God, just even off the top of my head, after Misty, you got RJ,
so
you got Andy Von Six.
I have it pulled up right here, actually. Yeah, so we got Gio, David Barrios. All right, so
okay, David Barrios was California as well.
David Barrios was California. Gio is down there in Jersey. I mean, what an introduction that was to him, especially. I mean, that was
still holds the record for the most fucks in an episode. Are we
definitely
right? Are we
gave
right?
out the most fucks, for sure.
That was the he. I mean, I remember because we were only that was what, like episode 5, 6.
Gio was episode 5.
Episode 5. Okay, so I remember thinking, even in the midst of getting my mind right, I had the idea of talking about aliens. And we even brought up alien. I mean, we were talking about the fucking nets and the aliens, but I was just talking about Gio earlier. I was on the phone. I was on the phone with him a little while back, and it's funny when you hear him. Like he was with shout out to old bald bearded bastard, mindfully me. He was with Chelsea and Dusty a few weeks back, and he had called. And it's funny when you hear him. If you hear him, he wasn't yelling into the phone, but if he raises his voice a little bit, it's so funny because he's distinct with. What's funny about Gio, because I could say this about myself too. I got a West by God Virginia accent. Most people say I got an accent, but I've said this on episodes because Gio had this thing where he mentioned something about accents. And he was like, I forget what it was, but he said, "But I don't feel like I have an accent." And I remember I messaged him. I was like, "Oh, dude, man." I was like, "It's just regions, brother." I said, "We all think we don't sound well." I was like, "How do I sound?" You know what I mean? I was like, "We definitely sound different."
You guys
I was like,
definitely sound
we
different.
all have our accents, but we're all human, and that's what matters. But yeah, I remember he said something. He's like, I didn't notice I have an accent. And I said, fuck, I don't notice I have. I didn't even notice I had an accent. To shout out to another guest, shout out to Paul Jones. Paul is from the UK, and he
Episode 11.
episode 11, and he used to try to do an impression of my voice, and he sounded like Mr. T, and that's when I used to think like, man, I was like, dude, yeah, like, and I would have, what was funny was I would have local people would message me, the West Virginia people, and be like, I didn't even realize we had, like, because I to this day I still don't have my government name on my Instagram page, but like some people know, you know, who what my account is. So the West Virginia people that followed me, they're like, I didn't even realize we had access. I was like, yeah, well, and I said that about I was like, I told him about, I was like, this guy pissed off Yorker. He said the same thing, but we all we regions of our, so we all got our twangs, so to speak.
Totally. And I mean, let's go back. So like David Barrios, another California native, if you will.
David Barrios was also, just to give this a quick one, David Barrios was the birth of when we discovered, the actors and actresses' birthdays.
That's right. That's when we first discovered your hidden talent.
Disturbingly hidden talent, yes.
Should we test it right now? I feel like we should, huh? Joe and Amy, let's give an actress or an actor or an actress. What do you guys got for me?
Man, it's been a while.
Robert Loggia. Is that his name?
Fuck, I don't even know who that is.
Robert who?
Is it?
Give another one.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck that is either.
I'm sorry.
Julia Roberts, but I feel like you've done that one already.
Julia Roberts is 1967.
Julia Roberts was born October 28th, 1967.
Yeah, buddy.
That was too easy, I feel like.
I mean, I fucking love redheads.
Anybody, Tony, do you have a name, an actor, an actress?
In honor of Top Gun, she coming out, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, this motherfucker is ageless. And now that I'm right here in the flesh, people, because I always try to rattle these off fast so people don't think I'm looking at my phone or anything. But now that there are literally sets of eyes here that see that I have not, I'm watching fucking hockey. I'm seeing nothing. Tom Cruise, fucking Scientology witchcraft ass, was born in 1962.
Tom Cruise was born July 3rd, 1962.
I got one because we were talking about him earlier. Ralph Macchio.
Ooh, Ralph, the Karate Kid. He was born in 1961.
Ralph Macchio was born November 4th, 1961.
Oh, man. I was nervous on that one. I was nervous on that one because he's still
good.
He's got, so that makes him, he's almost, what's he then, 60? Mm-hmm. Fuck, he's damn. I knew
Goddamn.
he was in his 20s when Karate Kid was. But
Yeah. So shout out to David Barrios because we unlocked that part of your brain.
And the bad
on that
thing
episode.
it was a thing because he had like, that was like a question. I remember it was like Bobby had it lined up that it was like a movie thing. Like he had these movie shit. And I was like, oh man, I got this stupid fucking gift of blankness that's stamped in my brain. I literally graduated with honors from Fairmont State University, and I know that it fucking pisses them off every time I say this, but I did it, and I didn't try that hard. I'll just say that.
So next after David Barrios was Robert Cochran. We got Robert on, And there were some people that were upset about his episode, but I think he was still a good guest.
He was a good guest, but
It was just a lot of people were upset because he was talking about how
he left piss bottles in the truck.
Something about boogers.
That turned some people off.
something about boogers,
Wiping
on the seat.
seat and leaving piss bottles in the truck made
Right,
a lot
so
of people mad. But
it's-
Robert, I'm not from you and I are like 3,000 miles apart, so I don't have a problem with you, brother. But
No,
you
but it's
made-
like, listen, Robert, I know you had a few too many that night on our episode, man. But there were some people that were a little angry about it, and we heard about it. But Robert, you're still a good guy. You got a good thing going for you. I believe he just had a kid born.
he did just have a
As
kid
well?
born, and
So
your
congratulations
artistry,
on that, my
dude.
man.
This motherfucker, anybody that sees my profile picture is Double Dobbins Creations.
Right.
Robert Cochran's a very talented fucking. He's an
Absolutely.
artist. He's a good artist.
Absolutely.
And he also gave us the gift of Basic Average White Guy.
Basic average
And
white guy.
we'll be forever in your debt for that, Jim. But we, I mean, I want to say I don't want to, God, maybe, recent. We'll say recent. But yes, I'm pretty sure they had their baby. Yes. They were definitely pregnant.
Definitely recent.
Definitely pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, the one and only Mr. Chris Slammer.
Your body slamming 300-pound dudes on the weekends, and you're following the methods the best you can during the week. And I know what they do to you. I know what they do. I know they fucking slam you. They slam the slammer because they fucking know. But brother, your episode was absolutely incredible, and to say we were talking about earlier about getting what we thought about with getting into this podcast. And one story I've told a bunch of people locally and people that I know that wouldn't necessarily be, some people, I have some friends of mine that are supportive that, listen to some, but, just in general, to tell a story of everybody being wrestling fans. I've told the story a bunch about how, I mean, I'll go ahead. I don't think he would mind me saying it. He said it on his episode, but Nikita Koloff, who was a former professional wrestler. He was a wrestler. He was a Hall of Famer. He's good in his day. Nikita Koloff he brought in Lex Luger to try to get Chris Slammer to buy some energy drink supplements or something, and tried to use Lex Luger as the grease, but Slammer didn't bite, and it's a funny story.
Yeah, so that was a funny story. Next up, we got Mark Chuggin Weens. Mark Weens, all right? This dude used to chug, was it Bang?
This fucking guy chugged Bang Energies like
Dude.
he was chugging water.
Huge shout out to Mark. Him and his wife have started this whole weight loss program thing with them. And I know Mark's got the surgery for it as well. And he put down a lot of weight. And shout out to you, Mark, and your wife there, man. Keep it going and continue that journey that you have, because the transformation is fucking incredible.
Yeah, dude, you guys have done really well with it. And I can say another thing with this from outside looking in, because I saw he made a post recently about something and I don't know if I think I messaged him on it, but I'll say this just as a broad sense, and I'm not trying to use Mark as like a martyr on this or nothing, but it was something like, because like you said, Mark, he'd lost a lot of weight and they committed, and he had said that, and anybody that follows him on Instagram had heard his journey on that, where he was feeling tired, wasn't feeling good, needed to make a change.
Yeah.
But he was saying something about, he didn't like, I don't know if he said he didn't like either posting before and after pictures or something.
That's what it was,
because of like people getting shitty,
right?
Like people being haters on it. I'm just going to say, if you have progress on something you've wanted, then fucking, if you're proud of yourself feel free to show it.
Fucking
And fuck
post it. Who
everybody
gives a
else,
shit
man.
about what they think?
And like I said, I didn't want to, I know Mark's a fucking, he don't need me to take up for him, man. He's a veteran himself. You know what I mean? I know, but I just, I remember seeing that, and I just, if any of you have a personal milestone, if there's people, fucking don't worry about them. Fuck that shit. And congrats to you,
Absolutely.
Mark, and your wife.
Absolutely. Next, episode 11 was Paul Jones. We just mentioned Paul before. UK, first guest we had on from the UK. Awesome interview. We had to record that one in the early afternoon
The first
because
ever,
of the time difference.
the first ever Saturday morning recording we ever had. Paul, you were an absolute warrior because this fucking guy was ready and willing to record at 3 a.m. his time.
Oh my God.
And we were like, dude, we don't want you to do that, man. That's really
Right, dude,
fucking
that's
late.
so fucking early or late to be up.
So we ended up recording at like 9 a.m. And one thing I'll remember from that, one is that Paul's got about as many. He's like me. He's got 9 lives. He's been through the ringer
Ooh,
on
that's
things.
the first time you ever heard about the Spaghetti Highway.
Yeah, wrecked on the Spaghetti Highway, which looks exactly like it sounds.
Holy shit.
He about got his leg ripped off by a fucking forklift truck. And the one thing that happened actually during the episode that I'll always remember, because it was in the morning, I had this fucking cricket that wouldn't stop chirping. You remember?
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was like, I could see Bobby's face. I could see Dave's face. I was like, man, this fucking thing is not
fuck's
shutting
that
the
noise?
fuck up. and I ended up moving, which is funny. I moved
That's right, you moved
where I
rooms.
moved from that episode. Eventually, was where
That's where you end up right now.
That's where that's going to be moved again when my daughter's here, because that's basically right below where her room's at. So I've got to move it to the other side now. It's basically going back to where it was before
Yeah.
the cricket. That's where I'll be. I'll be back where before the cricket drove me out.
Absolutely. Next we had on episode 12 was Justin Horst. Justin was that definitely opened up some because he is right your next door neighbor.
He'd been to Morgantown and he's seen all the amazing things that Morgantown had to offer, and we had some fun with each other. We're in Pennsylvania as this is being recorded, and Justin being from Ohio, Ohio and West Virginia will jab fun at each other. We give a lot of, I might call them quote unquote fuck you jokes to each other, but all in good fun. And Justin, he's a good dude, man. I've kept in touch with him, and I rode the wave with him a little bit. I'm a Tampa Bay fan, and Tom Brady's my fucking quarterback, and life's going to be awesome as long as he's still around. But Justin was a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and for any NFL fans, Justin I think he was a year older than me, or maybe so. Yeah, his whole adult life has just been shit on by disappointment with losses and not going anywhere. So he had Joe Burrow this year that got him to the Super Bowl. Justin, there's always next year, brother.
That's what they always say.
But what's funny was when we had him on his episode, Joe Burrow was just started.
That's right, he just started,
and he
yeah.
was getting his ass kicked. But I mean, that's because the Bengals fucking suck. But they made it. They made it to the Super Bowl last year. So yeah,
That's right.
too many more, Justin.
Absolutely. Episode 14 was Jose Rodriguez. Jose was, at that time, the oldest driver that we had on by his age. Northern Jersey driver.
Is he still the oldest driver by age?
I don't think so. I think
No.
Tammy was.
Oh,
I think Tammy Martin was the oldest one we had on since then.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'd say you're right. One
But-
thing, go ahead.
No, I
brother.
was just gonna say what an awesome interview that was too, because like at that moment, like I just said, he was the oldest driver that we had on. So it's cool to have on those guys that have hit those milestones in their lives, whether it be a Circle of Honor driver,
And the
whether
thing,
it be, go ahead.
the thing with Jose was he was a newbie reaching it.
That's
at
right.
That age.
And a lot of people doubted him.
They did. He
Because of
said
his
'cause he
age.
was old. And fucking Jose, you look. I told you, you got a better hairline than me, brother. You look better than I do. You may age-wise be older than me, but you look younger than me. And let's not forget. Can we not forget one of the greatest driver helper stories came from Jose Rodriguez?
Shit, yes.
We got
Yes.
Jose had, in his words, describing a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
That's right.
It was a big boy, and I said I have the privilege of saying it because I weigh 260 pounds. I'm a big boy myself, but this guy had some fucked up knuckles and some
Yeah,
brass knuckles.
Some fucked up knuckles. He had brass knuckles.
No,
yeah.
he had some brass knuckles along with his fucked up knuckles. But yeah,
He asked him to hide 'em.
Yeah, so
He asked him to take them from him.
yeah, they say to fucking hide the brass knucks
His helper.
from may or may not from the authorities or from somebody that may have been looking for him. This is all allegedly.
Yeah.
Excuse
Allegedly.
me to say.
Yes.
God bless you, brother. You were such a good episode, but man, that was. Yeah, I made a video.
That's a
on
great
that. That was
episode. That's a great
fucking helper
story. Yeah.
man.
That's a great
Yes.
helper story episode. Next up, 15 was Dan Ewert. Dan was introduced to us from our past guest, Misty Welburn. Same center, same hub. And we ended up having Dan on. Dan had COVID when he was doing the episode.
No, Dan had COVID on the Christmas episode.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yes,
I apologize.
but he did have COVID.
Yes.
And he had COVID when COVID was
At its peak?
it was really at the I think it was still 14-day quarantine part of the COVID.
It was definitely before the absolute brain fart, before the fucking
I was gonna say
vaccines came out.
That's why I was a brain
Christ.
fart.
Yep. Before the vaccines came out.
Is that a side effect?
Yeah, that's a brain
good.
that's a brain fart in itself. Sorry, and I even got it. Jesus, what the fuck did I do to myself?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What an awesome episode that was, huh?
It was, man. It absolutely was. And he had a. It was one thing I can remember. It was because he's in California, and he said something about guns, and he was like, "You can't have like a gun on your porch," and I just laughed at that. I was like, oh, "Damn!" So we're definitely in different areas, but nah, Dan was a good guest, man. He was a good guest, so we gotta go.
Fucking, I'm sorry,
Rangers.
guys. I
There we
have to
go.
explain.
You got it.
We
Do
are
it,
currently
do it, do
watching
it.
the Rangers versus Tampa Bay. You guys, obviously, everybody knows I'm a huge New York Rangers fan. Rangers just scored 3-1, top of the third period with
Sorry, John
16:39
Hilligus.
left. Let's fucking go Rangers. Sorry.
Sorry, John. You've got so many. You got so many Stanley Cups, John.
This
know,
is
it-
dedication
And
that
your
you will
beard-
not miss
your
this
beard
is
podcast.
on
This
mute.
really
Amazing.
is amazing.
It's
that
on
you
mute
can-
in the background right now as we're at the hotel room here together, and Mika Zibanejad just fucking scored. Let's fucking go, attaboy.
me.
That's right.
In person 5-5s.
Next one. Guys, what an awesome episode this was. Episode 16. We were introduced, you all were introduced to Fitzy.
Oh, damn. Where'd it even begin?
I mean, this dude is an absolute warrior, just out there taking care of cardboard 5 days a week at that time. 6 days a week. 6 days a week at that
Dude,
time.
I mean,
He was working
I-
Saturdays.
Listen, it's been said before, and I don't care how many times it'll be said again. Fitzy Center has been working 6 days a week, forced. Maybe not right now.
But at
I'm
the
tell-
height of COVID when
Yeah.
we were recording.
I said, yeah, that's been stated before, and I will never not, because before, like, this, it got big enough to where it reached national news. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, Fitzy's been doing this for 16 fucking months. Like, shit, man, he's like, what the fuck, where have they been? Where's he been for fucking a year and a half watching these Bostonians just get fucked over? But
Right.
I mean,
What an awesome interview, though. I mean,
the dude. Well, he's
awesome
also
guy.
and he's a
Like
and he's a
awesome guy.
podcaster.
And I mean, like there was even times too, because last year in 2021, like the first game, like listen, the first game of softball that I had, like first at bat, I was running up the first baseline. As soon as that first step I took out of the batter's box to run, I like pulled my hamstring. And I know Fitzy's all into that stretching, that mobility, all that stuff that he does. And I mean, I reached out to him and I asked him, to give me some pointers on stretching those muscles out. And he sent me like a 5-minute long video on how to stretch out these muscles, and this. I mean, awesome guy. And I hope to God I can meet him over the summertime. I got a few people that I want to meet.
Dude.
And Fitzy, shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, brother.
Awesome.
I can say the same for me with my Achilles. He showed me different things with stretching, like just doing shit, taking time out of his day to show a video on. Dude, yeah, he definitely anybody. If there's people of anybody you want to say to follow. Really on Instagram, like I could even say, like for me, like Nomad Delivery Guy. If you want to follow me, that's great, and I will fucking appreciate that.
Shout out to you.
But you want to follow a page that you might actually learn something on. Follow a page like Parcel Savage.
Absolutely.
That's right. Because like Fitzy, I mean, from a graphic design and branding background, watching what he does, like. He really has hit it really good with that. And I think it was called it was like Cardboard Cologne or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Cardboard Cologne.
That was brilliant, Fitzy, really, like putting that whole program and that system out. So good job.
Absolutely.
But he also, I mean, that's what he knows, because it's tough to keep up with podcast stuff, because we've talked to him plenty, and but he was a really good guest, because he knew shit at that point in time. I mean, I'm pretty sure he definitely recorded more episodes than I have, for sure. But yeah, he great dude, and same here, Fitz. Like Dave said, I'm looking forward to meeting you one day, brother.
Absolutely. Next one up was oh boy, episode 17, November 30th, 2020. We were introduced to the one and only Porno Parcel.
Oh boy.
RJ.
I mean, first of all, let's definitely start with you guys.
Yeah,
because
let's
the
start with
Rogans, you guys got to meet him in person.
Hell yeah.
Tell
can't-
us about that experience. I know we asked you before on a previous episode about it, but holy shit.
I can't keep up with him. Like it's insane. But we've actually got to meet him twice.
He's a wild guy with a big heart.
Absolutely.
That's all. I mean, like he is there as a friend, like to like what you need. But yeah, like you can't tame him though, and he can't keep up with him. And he's got a really awesome story, really history about like fourth generation.
Absolutely.
And he shared that with us. Like he showed us all the memorabilia.
Yep.
And he's got definitely an interesting life, interesting wife. But it's amazing. Nothing is boring about him.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, he gave you guys
He gave us
one of his
artwork.
paintings of his great grandfathers.
No, his godfathers.
His godfather.
Yes, when the second time we came through his area, we got to stop at his house, and he gave us one of his paintings. Of course, Joe picked the biggest one of the biggest ones.
I know.
And
For us living tiny, I had to I appreciate art, and I really appreciate what his godfather did, like with this one, and I'm just so honored that he would just share something like with us. So
I think he said this was one of his favorite ones too. So it's an honor.
Really?
Yeah, it's an honor to have that, and we're taking really good care of it. We hung it up here in the hotel room. We took the hotel art down and hung his up.
So you guys haven't been technically home since you picked that up from him, like Florida.
Well, I mean, where we would put it, I guess, Florida.
Right.
I was gonna say he stumped me on that one too.
I know. I'm like, wait.
I was
home?
like, technically,
Well, we
what
are
do you
home.
mean? I
You
was
guys
like,
have a home base in Florida, right?
Well, Joe's dad's.
The timeshare?
Joe's dad's house is kind of a home base type thing.
One of our
And then we have storage at my parents' house in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So it'll stay protected in storage until we do create a home base again, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what to do with it.
I don't know
I'm
why, but for some
definitely
reason,
holding on
Florida,
to
I
it.
thought was like.
Well, according to the government, yes, we're Florida residents. So
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Vote and do our taxes there.
Yeah, you gotta always fucking Uncle Sam's gotta always have at least a little idea where you're at. I know about
It's a cool system, especially for us nomads. I'm not going to digress too much, but there's a
Yeah,
program.
I
It's
wouldn't
called
ask you to either.
it's called Escapees, and they have it set up so that you pay an annual membership, and they give you an actual address in Florida. So
Oh.
yes,
nice.
and then our
Interesting.
mailing address is Texas, so we really confuse everybody.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
that
it makes
is
me
absolutely
if
mind-fuck.
it was possible for me to admire you guys anymore, it just happened.
Oh yeah,
I
and when
did.
people try to find us, they can't.
That's fucking awesome, though.
Especially the government.
Because you guys got to meet him as you were just
Oh, yeah.
explaining. I mean, that's definitely one of the people on our list to meet one day. On Luke and I's list, and
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had him on multiple times, and what an awesome human being, like you said.
Yeah, when we
with
went
a
to
big
their
heart.
when we went to their house, when he gave us the painting, we had to be quiet because his wife was working.
That was the best part of that.
We had the soundbite right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part of that episode. I remember hearing when you guys.
We were like, that's awesome. Yeah, RJ, thank you so much for being on,
Yeah,
buddy. It was
brother.
awesome. It's been awesome
Abso-fucking-lutely.
fucking get to knowing you, and the Rogan's getting to meet you in person, and hopefully Luke and I will get to do that one day as well. So next up we have, oh boy, I don't think we got to go over our episodes. I mean, 18 was mine, 19 was Luke's, 20 was Bobby's. 2022 episode 22 was actually January 11th, 2021. We had on Patreon subscriber Fernando Loaiza.
Oh, so Fernando was our first episode of the year that year. Okay.
Yes.
And I remember because Fernando was a guest on the Christmas Live, and he was on there, and he was being and we saw his wife, and we just remember thinking, we're like, damn, like he's a solid. I don't remember. We just were like, this guy would be a good dude to have on.
Yeah, dude, like that's what happened. It was from the Christmas episode. And we were like, dude, like this guy has a lot of good stuff to say, a lot of good positivity. Love the energy that we had on from the Christmas episode. And
I definitely want to chime in on Fernando
Go ahead.
because
because they
you guys got the opportunity to meet him in his
they
family
were
as well.
they were the first listeners that we got to meet, and they just unbelievably just opened their homes, fed us.
we weren't expecting it. Like they reached out actually when they found out we were going through Tucson, Arizona. And they said, you could just, park in front of our house. And it's like, okay, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. And it's like, my wife just made a authentic Mexican kind of soup dinner. And, we're ordering pizzas. Like, you guys want to come in? And I'm like, okay, sure. And then
That is awesome.
For us, and I think we had just started working with you guys, and so for the listeners
Yeah.
to just open their homes
It
to
was
us
around that time, yeah.
was just phenomenal, and we just so appreciated it. And I think we've gone back to them twice also, and just had so much fun talking to them, talking about business, different things. So we really appreciated being able to stay at their place.
And they really do appreciate you guys. When we got to sit down at the dinner table and talk about it, they love supporting you and what you guys are doing and how you're delivering that greatness.
And it
Awesome.
really, I told Fernando, and I still plan on. I've got family in Tucson. I do have family in Tucson, and my I don't know. I mean, it's weird to say when you have a 100-year-old relative on plans. My grandmother is She is in West by God, Virginia, but normally she in the wintertime, she's always historically went to Tucson. But either way, I have family in Tucson. I've told that to Fernando that I've been wanting to come on and get out there with someday. So yeah, I look forward to meeting you and your family, Fernando. I know you're a good dude. You're a baseball guy. You agreed with me with most of my baseball shit, which I appreciate that enough, because if anybody agrees with me on my sports analogies, I mean, that's fucking 90% of it. I'm on board. I know you're a good dude.
He also comes up with a lot of our questions of the week too.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
He's been great at that.
He fucking is a godsend with them questions of the week lately.
Yes.
He has been. Yes. Thank you, Fernando.
That's right. I mean, the West Coast especially, we got a lot of people out there that we would love to visit, hopefully sometime. Next up, episode 23 was Diary of a Wife, Katie Justice. I mean, we got introduced to Katie. I mean, we saw her coming on when she first had an Instagram account.
And the only episode where there was not a single fuck in the episode.
That's right.
Hardest episode I've ever had to record in my life.
It was,
but she's such a sweet sweet person. She's a good sport with coming. I mean, I understand, and I'd said that to her too. Like I obviously I don't talk. Basically, at least with my social media account, I always said that if people were talking to me, it'd be in the realest moments, like we'd be sitting at a bar stool together. But
yeah, absolutely.
I told, when Katie made the request, she asked you, because I think you'd actually set that up, because she had, she had asked you that.
Yes, she asked me because her followers, she keeps it real and let's say PG-13.
I wouldn't even say PG-13, but that's not. I mean, I'm sitting here making videos about spank banks back then, so I mean, I was in really red zone then, so I can understand why Katie didn't want to. She had to make sure it was all right, but like I said, though, that was the nice
so she
dog
messaged
bite
me
I
to make
had.
sure that we could keep it PG, and absolutely, honestly, we respect that because that's her followers.
I think,
and that's her community that she's built
too. That that it could be, if anybody wanted to request that, because a lot of our listeners, they do have younger kids, and I always would respect that if somebody requested it. The only thing with Katie's episode that made me laugh was that anytime if Ashley would come downstairs, because at that point she would come down still and say hello a lot. She doesn't really come down and say hello as much anymore, but we were still pretty early on at that point.
Yeah.
And I remember every time she came downstairs, I muted my mic immediately because I was like, I had to make sure.
I remember that.
Because I muted it. I was like, it's Katie, Diary wife, Katie. Like, to make sure she didn't say anything. But I'm sorry, Katie. I shouldn't make you sound like I would have fucking melted your ears. But yes, that was the first episode, and I think the only episode that we. But if you want a G-rated episode, we can provide that. I'm capable. It's tough, but I'm capable.
No, absolutely. That was awesome.
Fudge.
What was funny was that she actually, not to keep going into that, but she actually had to explain to that because people asked, like, "Hey, you guys didn't cuss on that episode."
That's what was funny was that somebody actually noticed. There were some people that actually noticed.
She actually went into detail about that. She's like, "Yeah, I requested not to cuss." But
oh yeah,
Katie, we appreciate you coming on.
Next one up was episode 24 was Christine Snaps.
Oh, fucking Christine Snaps.
I mean, what a gem. She's obviously has had she built a reputation on her social medias for her videos with a cactus.
She did.
And what an awesome interview to have on. Our first
Down to
I mean,
earth.
that was our second, I guess, if you were third driver with the company, but I mean, person that actually has no relation to the company. She was the first one that we had on with that. And that happened because, Bobby posted a video on TikTok that happened to go a little viral. And she ended up seeing it, ended up getting in contact with him. We ended up getting her on. And that was just awesome because we gained a couple listeners because of that. And who would have thought there'd be people outside?
There has been, I can think of two people
the delivery company.
off the top of my head that came from her. One of them has a "Come Here, Let Me See You" sticker on the back of their car.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
That was but Christine, though, one thing that I loved about her more than anything is that, sometimes in the social media world, shit's not really real. You know what I mean? It's not real. It's not this we're all sitting here in the flesh in person, but we all know each other. That's different. But you know what I mean about the fucking, there are so many people I've come across that have, and this is nothing even she wouldn't even fucking want me, I probably even to say this, but I've come across people that have like a 20th of the following that she would have.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
sure.
If I would try to like they try to big boy you or big girl you, you know what I mean? Big dog you kind of thing. And as dumb as that sound, she's always been, Christine is as real as it gets. She's always been down to earth. She's been a good sport with us. She made a video. She couldn't come on
for the Christmas episode, for 2022 Christmas.
So she made us a video that she literally put together. I mean, to attest that why we realize why she's a content creator. For how fast she made a video, and it was good. Okay, I get this makes sense now. But yeah, Christine was great person, great episode, absolutely.
Absolutely. You ready for this one? You know who episode 25 was?
I don't.
She introduced us to
Jesus, I do.
The cradle baby terminology. Bianca Garza.
Bianca fucking Garza.
Another Canadian California native. Fucking hockey's out. I'm just losing it right now. Another California native.
It starts with a C. It's all right.
Something like that. And an A after that.
Californian. Yeah. Nah, she, one thing about Bianca is she always, one thing she just recently commented something on, anytime I share a story of this dog Maggie, I call her Maggie Skittish. She's a really, really fucking. I think she's a lab mix of some kind, but she's like a deer. She scares easy, and every time I ever post her, Bianca always will comment something. And I think she's back into when she came on the Christmas episode. She wasn't. I think she's back. She's back into at least training again. I don't know if she's boxing again, but I think she's kind of doing basically what I'm doing now. And shout out to you, Bianca, because a lot of what I wanted to come back from, and I know I'm a little bit older than you are, but a lot of what, when I came back, I based, when she told us, she almost died from kidney failure. She bounced back from that.
Yeah, dude.
And I thought I might be a little older than her, but I've never had any serious, and I don't know if I'll fight again, but if I actually do a fight again, she'll be mentioned a lot. I'll just say that. But yeah, Bianca, we loved having you on.
I mean, when she started, or when we interviewed her, her, I don't know what you would call it. The place where she would go to spar was shut down because of COVID.
Bad to the bone. Gym, I follow the gym, man. I fucking follow the trainer. I was this fucking close to messaging the trainer because they had a guy that they were showing, and this dude was like a heavyweight. And I literally was like, do you want this guy to open up with somebody? I'd come out and fight. Fucking, I'm across the country. You know what I mean? But it was Bad to the Bones Gym's where she goes. That's the name of the gym.
It's awesome. Next one was episode 26 with the one and only Jeffrey Chandler. Shout out to Jeff because he's got his other podcast called TMI, Confessionals of the Nerd Kind. Go check out that podcast. Jeffrey Chandler, fellow and what an awesome interview that was to have him on.
We had a thing with, I had a couple questions with him regarding with Star Wars, but he's just
a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah, just a good.
You saw
fucking
his
dude.
collection. He showed us on the video. It's
He
incredible.
literally, it would be like going to Wikipedia, but it'd just be a human being that I'd be talking to.
Yes.
That's literally what I felt like. But yeah, great dude.
And definitely around this time, the Rogans were getting more intertwined with us
Joe
and the
and Amy
podcast.
just came across. Not to go too deep in it, but Joe and Amy came into town. They were surfing, like, if we're talking Point Break, man, they came in surfing. They jumped off the helicopter into some waves.
Yeah, that's pretty
It was
accurate.
definitely around this time.
To say the least, but yeah, damn, that was right.
And so let's keep
stir
that.
it up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. So let's keep that on the side for now. Next one up was episode 27. So episode 27 was the first episode that you and I had together alone.
And
We lost the third member at that
we
time.
had said before, this is when the format that you'll hear episode 100 on, that this is when it became Dave and I, just the two of us, and where we've been back. But
Episode 27 was Earl
and I think
Legister Jr.
I think Earl being, I don't know to say if there could have been a better guest to
100%.
come on at that time, because it was just Dave and I, and we didn't exactly know how it was going to go. We didn't know how everything was going to be, and we sat there. And we were just, and Earl had a unique story of his own of what happened with him, and I think Earl as a guest and being smooth talker, fucking Earl. The guy's an actor.
Absolutely.
He's an actor. Fucking guy's good. He's an excellent guest, but I think for the time, Earl couldn't have came on at a better time being the guest that he was, because we weren't exactly even sure how it was going to even fucking go. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? And it just being,
You
like
and me.
and him having his story, which we said it then, and I'll say it now, but we on his episode, we said that it was, everything happens for a reason. He didn't want to drive. He wanted to go another route. We know that.
Right.
But the reason he got let go was bullshit. It was fucking bullshit. Because now, in this age, everybody's making, like, Earl made a fucking video. That's it. That's all he did.
Who the fuck's not making videos nowadays?
Yeah, you've got 300, you got 4,000 fucking delivery people you could probably find on social media.
Someone is even blue check mark certified on the IG.
Yeah.
I
I know.
let's be honest here, and that's all he posts.
Yeah, that's fucking true. So he could make money from it. Yeah, Jesus, that's true. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
trying, I ain't trying.
I don't
want to
get too deep into that with his personal stuff, but go ahead,
I have
Amy.
to say that's when I really fell in love with you guys and what you were doing for the community, because letting Earl have that platform to express how he felt about the whole situation, you're stuck with us now because we love what you guys are doing for the community.
And it's just, he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
In that you don't, you just, like, he seemed like a good worker too, but at the same time, I know what he wanted to do. And it's just like I've said with you,
He wanted to
Joe.
bring laughs to people.
I've said that you don't want to, if he didn't want to, that's not where he wanted to be anyway. And unfortunately, it happened the way it happened. But in the end, I mean, if he gets one opportunity or two opportunity, however many opportunities, even if he'd get one opportunity to do something he'd love. In my eyes, I don't, I think that'd be worth it. That's just me, not trying to get all poetic on you, but and I think you'll have a lot more than one, Earl. I'm just trying to, get philosophical on you.
I also think it's also when you guys took the word, your wife, Dave, Danielle, she said delivering greatness, and delivering greatness really came out at that focus. Like, when it was just down to you two guys, and then you're sorting out and figure out how we're going to go forward, what we're going to do. And what's really cool is you continued, like you didn't skip a beat. You just kept going, and delivering greatness has been building as something bigger. And you just didn't realize how it was, what you were given, like Amy said, the platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one up after that was episode 28 with Lars. So a fun little side story here. So we were introduced to Bianca from the Lars episode.
Yeah, Lars.
So Lars has Lars had his podcast, I Am Lars, and he introduced Bianca because they're out of the same center. And when I heard that episode and Bianca's story, I was like, Luke, we gotta get her on. This is a good human being and a great backstory about life, what she had. And that's what we were trying to do. And that's what we are trying to still do with our guest, is let them talk about life.
Nah, dude, he and Lars, and absolutely, dude, because and as like I said with Fitzy, that it is tough. It's a tough thing to keep up with, and I appreciated Lars coming on as a guest in our own. But when we started talking about Bianca, I remember thinking like what he was saying, like I wish he wouldn't have stopped. I'll say it to you, Laura. I know I get podcasting's tough, and if you can't, I understand. Trust me, I fucking get it. It's not people. It's not just a. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I absolutely love doing it. If there's a time that comes that I feel like I'm forcing something, I'll fucking quit. I do love it, but that all being said, it is a lot of work, and there's a lot of shit that I don't do that this fucking guy does that you're not going to hear because he doesn't have a mic in his hand. So I'm never going to say one thing or another, but yeah, Lars, he's a good dude. He's been, he's close to retiring. He's got to be close. He's a 30-year driver.
Got to be close.
Yeah, he's close to hanging it up. So yeah, when that time comes, Lars, God bless you, man. Good guest.
Absolutely. Next one up was episode 29 with Brandon Wells.
B-Dub. Dude, this guy, well, let me just say something about Brandon Wells. This fucking guy with his beard and his deep-ass voice. I told him that, I said, I feel like you and I are from the fucking just down the street from each other.
Yeah.
He's another Californian, and we are getting close to the nitty-gritty, folks. This is what you're getting to the live episode. We're sitting, oh, God, we got less than 55 seconds. Give me 55 seconds. We got the goalie off the net, me being a football guy.
We're just watching hockey right now, guys. We apologize. John Hilligus, I apologize.
John Hilligus, you're going to live. You're going to live a nightmare, or you're going to live a blissful moment, John. You're going to live a blissful moment or a nightmare, John.
All right, Brandon Wells.
Are we going to edit that out?
No, it's totally fine. This is all live right
here. Brandon, you don't know what hockey is any more than I do, dude. Nah, Brandon's a fucking good dude, solid guy. His music taste was basically the exact same as mine. We've discussed party stories. I won't go into full details, Brandon, because you discussed probably shit you wouldn't want me to say. So I'll say, I'm with you, brother. Don't worry. Good dude, man. Good dude.
Absolutely. Episode 30 was Albert. Albert was also introduced to us from the Christmas Live episode that we did in 2020.
And Albert is he is been another guest that has kept a good relationship. You know, I keep in touch with Albert, very good dude, and he's actually
We're planning on.
yeah, Albert's in the works of getting back on. We've got that in the works. So yes, Albert, when that day comes, you know, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
Absolutely. Next one up, the one and only episode 31, Mr. Joe Rogan.
Crazy Joe Rogan.
Oh, me? Not the Joe Rogan that everybody wanted to see.
Dude, it was clickbait.
Heyo.
It was the biggest clickbait probably we've ever had.
Heyo.
But you're fucking
It's got its perks.
just an interesting story.
You're not
What,
the only
Joe
one who
Rogan?
has used that.
It's also my superpower now, too.
That is a
Oh,
good
man.
superpower to have.
Yes.
I've tried to compare it. Do you feel like how Michael Bolton in the movie Office
Yes.
Space felt? Do
Yes.
you feel like Michael?
I get that a
Alright.
lot.
I figured. I thought, man. I said this day and age, yeah, it'd have to be the same.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But one thing that I've said it to Dave so many times, but it was so good that you yourself are a talker because you carried it most of the time. But I felt I didn't give you my best on that episode because I was dragging ass, and I've always felt bad about that. But the fact that you were able to do it, you basically, I feel like you carried that episode.
No
because
worries.
Dave was feeling, I don't think you were feeling up to par that night either, but I was fucking dragging, and I felt like, I don't know what the fuck it was, but you saved it on that night. And another thing, like we were saying earlier, as you all know, hold on, Joe.
That's an offside. That's an offside.
offside.
Offsides.
I'm trying to say,
4.7 seconds
Joe, I'm
left
trying to
here
give
in the
Joe's
3-2
fuck
game
you moment
for
to
the Rangers leading the Lightning.
when
3-2.
Joe said "fuck you" in 2010. that was, you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've respected what you did, and I appreciate what you inspired other people to follow a path that they would feel happy on. And if I literally, I've said that before, I never looked at the company as an end all for myself. My priorities in a lot of ways were different as far as, I was always like wanting to be a poker player or some type of thing with gambling, but
Let's go, baby! Tampa Bay Lightning are 18-1 after losing a playoff game. They're 18-1. John Hilligus, I apologize for this one. I know it's weeks later since you're going to be hearing this, but the Rangers just won. Rangers lead the series 2-0.
and you just
Let's go, Rangers!
You're lucky you didn't bet your beard. You're lucky you didn't bet your beard.
Sorry, you're gonna get this on the 100th
it's
episode,
okay.
guys.
It's okay.
Let's fucking
It's okay.
go, baby!
But I wanted to say, on top of the celebration that we have 12 years ago with Joe Rogan leaving fucking the company, Rooster Sound,
That's
That's right, baby.
do it the same. But I'd fucking, like I said, dude, you're an inspiration, brother, and I fucking look up to you.
I appreciate that, and what you guys also, you taught me something through these 2 years knowing you now. I think it's like 2 years, is it? Something like
Close
that?
enough.
Jesus. Yeah, somewhere around that is like, because I did have a bad taste in my mouth, like when I talk about the company, and I didn't want that to influence other people when they ask, like, should I work here or not? And I was pretty bitter, but knowing you guys and hearing all the stories from other drivers out there, the way they're delivering greatness is they have the reasons to be there, and they're happy and they enjoy it, and they can also do things outside of it that are their passions. And so they have proven that that's possible and that's capable, and there's so many backgrounds. And I'm like, you know what, who am I to decide that you can do this, you can do this company, and you can also do what you want. Or if you're looking to lean out of it, you also know that there are ones that have got out, and have made it. So thank you guys, and thank you for having me on the platform.
And to get a little bit more on that too, I definitely appreciate what you say on that, and the part of if you can find the balance, great. But if you can't, and that's the part on you where I respect you on that with people, because we all know we've got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 drivers, 4 or 5, including a former one. We know plenty that let it consume them and make it just they're just, I don't want to use the word disgruntled, because you know who I'm going to say after that, because I don't want to bring him into it, but disgruntled is a word. And if you get to that point, if it consumes you like that, then you need to nothing's worth your health and your sanity. I'll just fucking leave it at that.
Even 12 years later, we had to remove a couple pages from our book because they were just literally rants of the company.
And I said he has every right, because Joe was when he left, it was still at the part, it was before insurance companies really hammered in the work safe part, and that's all it was. I'm not sorry for saying that. It's only for insurance purposes. Don't fucking act like it's anything else.
You will continue to have nightmares after you leave, though. They will never go away.
Oh, they're burning.
And I think our book is therapy for him, so I'm glad he's able to get that out and share that part of his story.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's a great time to let people know where they can pre-order your book.
I wasn't trying to do that.
Let's go, though. We're here.
Oh, what's all that?
Our book, Happy Medium.
Happy Medium?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What is that book about, Amy?
It's about the first 5 to 10 years of our marriage.
Wow.
Dude, can you believe?
Is that like the memoirs of like what we went through trying to live life, work, and balance?
Yes, it was. When I was sick and you stuck with me.
That's amazing. And you know what? You can find out about this in our book called Happy Medium.
Shazam!
You can pre-order on publishizer.com/happy-medium/.
Hey,
And we'll put the link in the
And if you
description.
need any more, if you,
know
need
what?
another, we'll
Right.
get it.
check
'cause
out
I'm
those
doing it.
illustrations. I thought I was just going to have to read over and over pages.
And I mean, honestly, guys, on a serious note, we've seen a rough draft of it, and it is the most coolest thing I've ever seen, actually, because it's for an adult book and having there be 2 different sides of it, and when their stories meet in the middle. I haven't obviously read it yet, but
adult meaning not like, well, there is adult content in there, but
Right,
it's a difficult
it's a
topic
thick
to
got
talk
book
about.
to where you would consider it like it's not
Yes,
it's not a children's
definitely
book.
not a children's book
Right.
with illustrations for children.
Right, but
definitely
the
not
illustrations
chapter
and stuff
6.
like that, it makes it fun for the mind of an adult person.
Yes.
And then, like I said, reading both sides of it and then seeing how it ends in the middle for both your guys' stories, and see what you're going through, Joe, on one side, and then what you're going through, Amy, on the other side. Guys, definitely put your pre-orders in for this book, because I don't think this is going to be one that you're going to want to miss.
Pre-orders are
Absolutely.
available now.
That's right. So go and check that out.
Thank you very
The link
much.
will be in the description of this episode 100 here.
Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Next one, John Hilligus, episode 32. John, I apologize because we just got so excited because the
John,
Rangers
we
just won.
literally just introducing you as your team just went down as this is recorded.
Your guys are losing 0-2 in the series right now, but we'll see what happens in a couple of games from now. But John, awesome individual, awesome person. We still keep in touch separately through DMs and whatnot.
And
He's
to
sending me
say-
pictures of him with the Stanley Cup as the Stanley Cup is down in Tampa, and what an awesome guy! He's a part of the Bearded Viking Club.
He's a part of the Bearded Viking Club.
The dude's a Viking.
and the Circle of Honor. He's a Circle
And he's
of
a
Honor
Circle of Honor driver.
Yeah,
Dude's a stud.
and he's kissed by the fire. He's a redhead. You gotta love him. But I don't really. It's hard for me because I know as I'm just laughing as I'm looking at this because we're recording this live and I've had a base of this game in my face. Literally, I'm the one that is straight across from this TV, and it's probably for the best because I know I'm not a big hockey guy, but I'm seeing it. And brother, if your Rays end up coming back, then this will be the biggest laughable moment you'll have. Just remember, but yeah.
Rays?
Is that what they're called? Oh, Lightning! Jesus, I had
It's
the
like
wrong
we're going
sport.
into baseball now.
Oh, that's Tampa Bay Rays. Jesus, see, John, I'm not a hockey guy. Tampa Bay Lightning. Sorry. I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. They ain't Buccaneers.
Two-time
they can be
Stanley Cup
Rays,
champions.
Rays,
Tampa Bay Lightning, 2-time Stanley Cup champions. They're going for the
Rays,
three-peat here this
Lightning,
season, but
crap, I don't. Yeah, wait, what the fuck sport am I thinking of?
it's okay.
I can't get over how awesome his beard was on the Christmas special.
Yo,
when
and
we
you guys
saw
got
it.
to meet him
Amazing.
too.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Not in Florida.
Not in Florida,
Texas.
where like the places that you usually meet your listeners is like you go on these long journeys, but we met in Austin, Texas, and was telling them for donuts.
Met at a Buc-ee's?
Donuts.
Donuts.
Yes, Round Rock Donuts. Like
Okay.
I swear by them. The whole country. I've been to so many donut places. I'm still humble. There are donut places I try. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
nothing compares to Round Rock Donuts. And he was listening, and he found out that we were going to Austin. He was flying from Florida at the time.
Yeah.
So we had been an hour and a half away from each other for like months. And then we had to go to Texas to meet each other. And today is National Donut Day, by the way.
Is it really?
Yes.
Today's National Donut Day?
Yeah, he sent us a Round Rock Donut special.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And he was, he enjoyed the donuts. We got together, did a little bit of video, and it's just really cool. He is a cool guy.
Dude,
That's awesome.
He seems.
Is his beard as epic as it is in real life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my
I
God.
I
wanted
told
to
you,
touch
John. I would have bet my mustache. I'm glad he didn't take it because as we speak, it seems like it's a good bet that I avoided for now.
Next one up is episode 33, Alex Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Another
Oh my
fellow driver that we
days.
had on from the UK. Awesome human
Also,
being.
gave birth. I guess I got to give thanks to two people here. One is to that guest, our very own Alex Lane, and President Joe Biden, because we got our Getting the Big Picture segment was born. It wasn't really born on that episode, but it was when we finally realized we're like, dude, because we would record guests and we try to get episodes ahead, so we try to get get a few weeks ahead.
Yeah.
And when we recorded Alex's episode, for anybody, for everybody that remembers the knee slapper of the president tripping up Air Force One three
That's
times.
when he first got elected as
And,
president.
yeah, he just became president, and he tripped up Air Force One, and one of Alex's questions for us was, he literally said, "What's going on in America?" Because it was the election was over, and the press was nothing was going on.
Right.
So we were telling him about him falling up the steps to Air Force One, and we realized when that came out, it was 2 weeks later, and we thought, man, we could have something here when something fucking hilarious happens. We could just jab it in there.
Oh, totally.
And getting the big picture. But no, I mean that's just from our own gain from that episode. But for Alex himself, amazing artist, amazing fucking dude. He had a video where he played in this bar and he played Country Roads, and my head about exploded.
Everybody was singing it. Everybody was singing it in the
all
bar.
them British folks were singing fucking John Denver, and I was so fucking happy. And but no, Alex is such a good dude, man. He's as good a dude as he is an artist. He's a talented guy, and he was one of them people that he was an easy guest because he was excited to be there, and we just had a good time. We had fun, and it was we had a lot of fun with Alex. And yeah, Getting the Big Picture segment was born from that episode.
Totally.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Joe.
Absolutely. Next one was episode 34 with Tara Sanders. Tara was She is Earl's partner. And what an awesome interview that was, too, having somebody who's not related with the company or anything we do whatsoever.
And she had a good story, her story where she talked about her dad's friend, that when she had made that journey with him. Yeah, Tara was a very good episode. And for anybody, it wasn't anything delivery related at all, but she was just we were trying to get new guests on, and she was into yoga, and that was our original idea, and it went way deeper than that.
Yeah.
And it was it was a very good episode. But yeah, she is Earl's partner, and I mean, just I couldn't even. I need to hang out with him one night because I bet that'd be a fun time.
She also contributed to the mental health page that we have on the website.
Okay.
So, so she contributed because her yoga is also, I want to say it properly, the trauma-specific yoga. That's right. Yeah. I know I didn't. Right. I know I just messed it up, but she definitely contributed to our mental health page that we have on deliveringgreatness.com.
Okay.
Good deal.
Good to know. Next one up was episode 35. The one and only, I believe this is the only, I want you to say the only. This is one of the females that could definitely kick my ass.
I already know what you're going to say.
Corey Wagner.
Corey, to say, broke stereotypes out the ass.
Oh, yeah.
And it ain't even about.
Hey, not only the fact that she's a feeder driver, and then what does everybody say about the feeder drivers? The feeder drivers go in, they gain weight because they're, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Fuck.
She, he tried. There, he got it.
Right. Like, she not only is killing that stereotype, she's in the gym, she's working out, she's fit, she's built.
She pulls 3 trailers. Woo! And she's a fitness builder?
She's an animal.
Fitness builder, body sculptor. I know it wasn't bodybuilder. I definitely knew that. It was fitness. Oh, God, I should fucking remember that. But I told her I lifted for bulk. I never did anything else. So, but yeah, it's funny because literally one thing I'll remember with her episode is that question of the week. Whatever it was, somebody responded, if you want to be fat, go feed her.
That's right.
And I'm like, we literally got somebody here that's got like 12-pack abs.
It's literally somebody who is in feeder and is in shape more than I will ever be in my life.
Way to take that question and fucking fall on your face. But yes, I mean, just the fact was she our first feeder driver?
She was our first company feeder driver.
Yes, because Mark was our first.
That's right.
CDS. Okay, so Mark was our first. So she was our first company feeder driver. Because we saw the 3 trailers, and I don't think they pulled
in the snow.
No, she didn't.
In the fucking snow.
No, she didn't. She said she would only pull 2 in the snow. If it was 3, it don't matter.
Those videos,
3 fucking trailers.
Those videos she posts of her in the snow. I'm just like, I would probably fucking piss my pants if I tried driving those.
She had chains on her tires too. Corey, you had chains on. I know you did. You know you did.
Oh,
You know you had these chains on, these fucking motherfuckers, just with these strips. I don't know. But yeah, what a good guess. Man.
Awesome. Next one was episode 36 with the one and only, the Blue Angel, Greg Tyler.
One thing with Greg Tyler that I want to make sure I mention with mechanics, because anybody that is in our field, especially under the brown banner, they're going to think that they just have unlimited funds, unlimited opportunity, unlimited resources. And it's basically fucking spit and glue mom and pop shop. Like, they're like, we're a $1 billion company just by the print.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking fix this with some bubble gum and a rusted you know what
some
I mean?
duct tape.
Yeah. like they get nothing, man. So I've always wanted to make sure I give mechanics the respect they deserve because they are unsung heroes, and a lot of times when the mechanics get trashed on, because there's a lot of drivers that make fun of mechanics.
This is true. This is true.
Fuck ton of drivers that make fun of mechanics out there, and I've always said, like, man, they are
the ones that have the power to red tag your truck.
Yeah.
Or not.
Like, you want to piss them off that bad?
Don't fucking red tag your truck.
But
don't fucking piss them off.
My building, we have, I think we have 78 drivers. I don't know if we have 78 routes, but we have 2 fucking mechanics, and sometimes they gotta fucking go from center to center. Like, they're shorthanded, man. I don't want to say that some of them are. I'm sure there's definitely lazy mechanics out there. But Greg Tyler, the Blue Angels out there, we got your back. We know you're there, and we fucking hear you, and we know you don't get shit to work with. So you're a good dude.
That's right. Episode 37, we had the one and only Amy Rogan.
I remember that was a very last minute, I'm saving your ass kind of interview.
Amy Rogan
Definitely
that
saved her
day,
ass. I
when I
remember
said,
this.
"You're crazy, Joe Rogan," I always say that. Everybody watch the Chappelle Show. That was an old spiff from the Chappelle Show, but didn't realize that you had some shit done that day. And
That's right.
and you were more than a trooper. And it saved us in so many ways because that we after that episode we did change up a little bit, but at that time we were absolutely scrambling. You saved our ass that day to have an episode. We've always wanted to have an episode out
On the
when
fly.
we have them. We want to release them every week. And you absolutely saved our ass that week, and I know you felt like shit.
Yep.
And you were a trooper. I didn't know you felt that bad. You held up better than I realized.
Yeah, I think that was like a month before my surgery.
Yeah.
So I was ready for it. And to be dealing with it again now it sucks, but we weren't gonna miss coming up and seeing you guys. I'm like, I'll have surgery later. I can deal with it.
That's what I said before. I mean, I said it on the Instagram post to say it to you real right here while I say it. That's why it means so much you guys are here. Absolutely.
Well, we wouldn't miss it. I mean, I'm drugged up right now, but we're all good.
That's right. We are all good.
That ain't a bad thing.
No, not that kind of stuff.
No, she ain't that kind of stuff.
So that was awesome to
am.
get both you guys on now at that time.
Yeah.
We had Joe on earlier, then we had you on, Amy, afterwards. And just hearing about, like we just talked about before earlier with your book, that's going to be coming out, all that stuff. It's awesome to not only obviously getting to know you guys throughout the time, but getting to meet you guys in person as well.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that for Joe sacrificing his animation career to take care of me and working at the company. And now the life that we get to live together. And I mean, we got to meet a Disney animator on Monday. And so for me to be able to do those types of things for him as, in a way, payback in a good way.
Oh, yeah.
It's so meaningful to be able to do that for him, for everything that he went through working at the company for me.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Tenfold.
Next one we had on was episode 38, was with Jerica Bachetto, Green Thumb.
Well, one of my favorite things with Jerica's episode was bringing up whippets. Whippets. I remember what's funny about that was her working at that porn shop. I knew she knew what I was
No. Not only a porn shop, a small town porn shop where she
Wyoming
knows
porn shop.
everybody that comes in there.
Wyoming porn shop where it's a 4-lane fucking straight stretch, like 70 miles each way. You're just getting Wyoming's finest. And I'm going to say right now that Wyoming's finest probably mirror some of what finest I've seen from my state. So yes, I can only imagine what came through that door. But she she said that she liked driving. She wanted a job where she could drive, and I know she's been out of work
and
for
her
a while.
building was female dominant. She had more female drivers in that building than they had male drivers.
And she said there was. I mean, she wasn't in a big center, but still.
No, it was small, but still.
That's a big. Yeah.
That's unheard of.
In a male-dominated profession, that is unheard of. No matter
Absolutely.
how big or small the center is. So yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Absolutely. And she still answers to the questions of the week, and we still read them. So, Jericho, we thank you
And
for your continued
every
support.
time I see a beat the shit plant box, I'm like, I know she wouldn't order this because this is fucking garbage. But yes, we definitely appreciate you, Jerica, for sure.
That's right. We had a couple episodes where we didn't have any guests. But the following next guest that came up was episode 41 with Dusty and Chelsea. Old bald bearded bastard.
Where to begin, man? He shit his pants in a supervisor ride to make sure there were shit stains or shit smears on his personal truck. Chelsea went in and dog cussed the center manager when she was like 9 months pregnant because Dusty literally, all right, to say this about them, this is coming from the dog bite king here. I've been bit fucking 10 times. And
This is unreal to
I've
me.
never turned in one, so I'm probably immune to rabies, or I have rabies. But fucking Dusty, literally, I don't think Chelsea actually has this on her page. I think she sent it to me in a picture. But dude, it literally looks like a fucking ice cream scoop. You just like. If you could just scoop a piece of flesh out of your fucking calf. It was one of the nastiest dog bites I've ever seen, dude. And the fact that supervisor would ask how many stops he had left and if he could get done, like, dude, you just look like he got a fucking bullet hole in his leg. And this motherfucker, that was
100%.
bad. That was bad. But nah, what good guess, though.
And I mean, what an awesome couple to have on.
Our first couple together.
Because
Joe and Amy were they were separate, but they were our first couple that were actually together.
That's right.
They were our first driver and wife combo. And man, it was, what a good episode. What a good episode.
And like we said before, they don't get enough recognition, but the wives at home that are taking care of the family, holding the fort down at home, the anchor, putting the kids to bed, feeding them, all that good stuff.
And they got chickens and shit. They got their stuff
they got
out
the whole
there.
farm. But next one after that, episode 42, was the one and only Mr. Vic Warhowski.
Still my favorite episode to record to this day because I remember so many things went through my head. I was like, I won't be the absolute degenerate asshole that all these people have known me to be. I mean, I still told them the story about me getting hit by a car, but that's
He asked you about that.
Yeah, that's
because I was telling him, I was
folklore,
like,
man,
dude,
I've told that story so many times. I don't feel like that's a different.
I mean, like,
that's on another level. That's an outer layer of the story.
I mean, like, I even told him about it, and I was like, dude, like, this guy who I do this, like, he had no idea I did this podcast. But I was like, yeah, this guy I did this podcast with. This dude totaled a car once. He got hit by a car and totaled it. Like, it didn't total him. He totaled it.
Yeah,
and
21, man. God.
Yeah.
But what a good, I mean, for somebody that is, and I was right at that point, and Joe said this to me before, you were at year 10, right? It was year 10 when you said.
I was close to 10. But
Close to 10.
Yeah.
Not well, you're right, we'll just call it 10.
Yeah, it's just easier to say that. Yeah.
And, I'd hit a wall at a spot, and just hearing Vic, who had been out of the game for a few years, and just kind of explaining it from his angle, and I really enjoyed that one, and I I hate to say it, but I was definitely way more alert because I was a lot more sober because that was during the day, and but it was really a good episode. Just hearing him as a Circle of Honor driver and all this experience he had, and being a few years retired, to where I feel like it would be different to interview somebody that was like 6 months to a year. He had been like 5 years out, so that to this day I still can't think of an episode I enjoyed more than that one. I had a lot of fun with that one. That was a fun one.
One of the greatest things, I feel like, and he never even told me about the story.
I already know what you're
until the episode came out, and that was the fact that when the center managers and on-cars were trying to wine and dine him and trying to get him to become management. And when the center manager got up to leave the table, my dad asked the center manager's wife and said, is it really worth it? And she replied to him, no, because all you're going to do is eat, sleep, shit, piss, and come brown.
What a
great
I was going to say that too.
story. Because, that's like...
I was not expecting that because Dave told me.
I wasn't expecting my father to say that
either.
either.
I'm like, dude, I'm trying not to say fuck that much, and I hear this. I figure I was about to say motherfucker. So I to hear your father say this fucking shit come out of his mouth.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, I didn't see that coming. That was fucking awesome.
What? But
what a great fucking, and like just even more of a hilarious, like that. The management side would hate this, but it's so true. Like, I mean, what a kick in the balls to management to hear it.
Right, because he even said too,
Vic, don't do it.
Right, and I mean, like they even say, just like he said, when you're in that position, when they ask you to jump, you don't ask.
You don't ask when. What you say? How high?
Right, you don't ask when or what. You just say how high.
Dude,
you just fucking do it.
Like, your dad's so chill to me, and I mean, I'm sure being a son, it might, I'm sure he had a stern side to him, but yeah, man, that was such a good episode to hear. I don't even know. I would say I would love to have my dad on a podcast, but my dad, while he's a talker, he wouldn't be a good podcast guest, man. I love you, Dad. I love you to death. If you hear episode 100, I'm sorry, but yeah, your dad was, I enjoyed that one, man. That was a really good one, for sure.
Awesome. So it was, and moving forward, we had quite a few episodes without a guest. Next guest we had on was episode 53 with Brandon Manchin.
Jesus, man.
I mean,
where to even begin, dude? I want to say one thing I didn't say on Brandon's episode, just to make a little bit of a shout out to, was a guy. I wanted to mention it on there, but I didn't once we started going because it was we were having fun and it was a happy one. But a guy that came with us to Fairmont State, he'd passed away. He got cancer and died young, and I just wanted, his name was TJ Ellswick, and he was from Brandon's high school. And I wanted to say something like he came in with Brandon. They were a year behind me, and I just to say it real quick because I didn't want to get him upset on there. But man, he was such a good dude, and I wanted to say to him that his memory lives, and his family, I know Brandon's close with him, but as far as being a guest, he could have ratted me out on so many bad stories, and he was a perfect gentleman because he would never make me look like shit. He could have. He seen me piss my pants plenty. He seen me piss my pants plenty and do a lot of dumb shit, but he was a gentleman and kept his fucking mouth shut. No, man, Brandon, what a good guest. Baltimore Angler still roaring strong, and he.
I know, dude. I tried getting those stories out of him, but he just wouldn't budge.
Nah, dude, he won't. He's seen me do some fucked up stuff, man. He's probably seen me run through the streets naked before, and he would not, dude. He's a fucking gentleman. Mom is the word to that dude. I'm telling you right now, that guy he's a class act, man. They don't come any better. And I love you, Brandon, and I hope all's going well for you in all future endeavors.
It's awesome. Episode 56 was Clay Wallstrom.
We listen to normal people music
We
in
listen
this podcast.
We've mentioned that before many times on the podcast since then.
Clay, the only thing I can say, I was going to think of something I could keep. I was going to start rhyming. I said, Clay, what could I say? Going to go eat some hay. Well, I can't go that much. But no, the one thing I will say with Clay, though, he was a good sport with coming on, and we had a hell of a time. It almost was our first interview that we did via telephone, but we were able to not do it that way. And fucking good guy, man. Was a Padawan of Ernie Martinez. He is he's from the same building. Ernie's a little bit more seasoned, but they are same area. Good dude. Clay's a good guy.
Next up, we had episode 57, Patreon subscriber Ashley Pippin at Haley Bug Creations.
Whew. Well,
Where to start with that one, huh?
I will say, Ashley, I love you so much because you ignited a fire in this podcast in a lot of ways, and we were so happy for you to come on and basically be a part of this. I mean, you're basically just as. I mean, you may not be in this room right now, but you're here in spirit, and we just. God, where even to begin?
I mean, like, it was like, I saw what she shared with me. And like you said, that really ignited a fire. And, we got to stand up for what's right. And we had her back 100% of the time.
No, we did. We absolutely did. And because of that, we ended up forming a relationship with her, and you'll hear on the beginning of the episodes that this episode's brought to you by Haley Bug Creations. That is her sticker company, and a lot of, but yeah, we kind of, I mean, it's weird, we all, I don't want to say it's just, I don't want to say jumbled, but yeah, we were brought together by passion, I'll say that.
Absolutely. That's a good way of putting it.
Love you, Ashley. Haley Bug Creations, get you some stickers.
Absolutely. Coming up after that one was episode 59, Ernie Martinez.
Well,
we just literally earlier in the episode tried to guess how many IPAs he had
the only thing
during the episode.
The only thing I'll add to the IPA thing is that he said Kobe Bryant was the GOAT, and I know the Jordan people may find that hard to argue, but I'm just going to say it at this and leave it at that because you can't rebuttal with me anyway. With LeBron, he's still got a point, and I'll just leave it at that. Love you, Ernie.
That's right. Took a few episodes off from having guests on. The next one after that was episode 66. We welcome back Andy Von Six. Andy Von Six was on an earlier episode, but she had asked us to remove it for personal reasons, which we absolutely, obviously did accept her request. So we had her back on a second time, and I mean, it was obviously better than the first. The Rogans here have obviously gotten to meet Andy with RJ the one night.
That wild night.
That wild night.
That fabled night.
But she is such a rock star too.
Brought us the first round of drinks.
I'll tell you, there hasn't been too many people that we've had on, and I know when she asked to have that episode removed, and I told Dave, I said she's been, basically, we have. I mean, if you want to say OGs, I mean, like we said, what she said on her episode when she came on, she said she still had merchandise that had the I in it. So yes,
Right.
she's an OG guest, man. So
I don't remember which episode it was, but
we
it
would
was in the top
absolutely,
15.
Conform to that, and I was so glad. That was literally the only problem that I had with that was that she was going to be removed from our list, and that she was such an awesome person and such an awesome guest.
Right.
That I knew we would have her on again, so I was really glad that worked out. And yeah, I mean, she was at the time. I know she's working now, but she was at the time off work because her knee was healing up.
That's right.
But yeah, she was riding that wave a little while longer. I'm sure she's been climbing steps and doing plenty of apartments. But yeah, Andy, we appreciate you and we love you.
She's such a beautiful soul. I mean, her family, everybody opened their house to us again. Like everybody that
That's awesome.
listens. I mean, it's just been so sweet, and she's just so nice.
I would love.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's one that I would really love to meet. I've spoke to Andy a lot. She seems like a really genuine good person. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Next one after that was episode 67. This is when we got into this past peak season when we started rolling out episodes for the month of December. Episode 67 was the first one of December. That was the one from my building, Mr. John Waddell.
Johnny Waddle. I know it's Waddell. But
He's gonna hate you for
that. I made a video on that one because this poor bastard was a preload supervisor for a while and had to
Preload soup, yeah.
he had to put up with a lot of assholishness and
He quit.
Yes, he quit.
Started working for the railroad. Got a call from the center manager asking him to come back.
But what a good dude and what a funny guy. Like he had, because I laughed because I told him the story about when West Virginia would play on weeknights in our whole preload, because when he was a preload supervisor, I was like, dude, you would have hated us because we literally all would go together and just would show up just shit-faced and just load them trucks so bad. To any of the drivers that may have been in my building in 2007 and 8, I'm not sorry. You're probably retired now.
Absolutely. Next one up was episode 68. I was so excited to get him on to hear about his gelato boat. Sean Avery. On Instagram at Good Ship Sean. Awesome interview this was to have him on.
Dude, he was just as cool of an interview as he would be. I feel like I was amazed. The only surprise that I had was that I thought he had like a strict diet. I thought this dude
That's how in shape he is.
This dude was eating lean. I'm like, man, I gotta know. Fuck, he wasn't eating lean.
Yeah.
you weren't eating lean.
You asked him about it. He was
Sean.
like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
You're in your 40s, but you got the metabolism of a 15-year-old apparently. But God bless you, dude.
Unreal. I'd love to go up there and meet with him someday too. Him and Fitzy up north are two that I would love to definitely get to meet someday. Awesome interview. Next one was episode 69. She doesn't stop dancing. You guys have seen her dreads, or excuse me, her locks.
There you go.
On Instagram, guys. Mel Gutierrez.
I already sent a message to Mel, and when you hear this volume 2, Stranger Things, I've been picking her brain about Stranger Things already, and it's been an awesome season. But aside from that, Mel is one of those drivers, or an Instagram account, excuse me, if you would be able to, if you're fucking dragging or you're having a day where you're trying to motivate yourself in a way, you got to be able to, like, there's not a more perfect profile to go to than
No doubt.
Gutierrez. No
doubt.
But I was so happy that she was able to get on But what the fuck did I call? What did I call Hopper in Stranger Things? I fucked the name up.
You definitely did fuck the name up.
I wasn't calling him Hopper. I was calling him. Oh, damn it. I can't remember. But whatever it was not right. She was a good sport and didn't completely correct me.
But I had to correct you
Oh, yeah, you had
because I am.
Yeah, well, it was fucking
I'm anyways
wrong.
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she needed to correct because it wasn't right. I was saying the wrong shit.
But awesome guest to have on. Next up, the very first episode of 2022. This is episode 74, The Struggle with Mental Health. We had on 2 guests at once.
First time we did that, too, I believe.
That's right. And those
Other
2
than-
guests were Tammy Martin and Samantha Tafoya. First off, let's just give a huge congratulations to Tammy Martin because she just recently retired
She did.
from the company.
And that was, I mean, I think for me, and probably for most of us, anybody that's been a part, I've been on Instagram for about 4 years. So the cardboard community, I've been around for about that time. But you know, it until we started podcasting, it really grew a lot deeper. And she's definitely the first person, I think, since I've been on like the quote unquote cardboard community scene, if you will, that's retired. And she, along with, you know, being a retiree driver, first female driver to retire from her center, as far as our podcast goes, man, she you know, she told a story and opened up on a lot of things that would be hard for a lot of people. And her exact words were, if this helped one person, then it was worth it. And the response we got from that episode was pretty overwhelming, I would say. I think you would agree with me on that.
Absolutely.
So her goal was definitely attained. And Samantha, being she was the co-guest, because I mean we had Chelsea and Dusty on, but that was the first time we'd had 2 guests that were like from 2 different areas, not you know what I mean, not a husband and wife combo or anything like that. And she, if you follow Samantha, she's entertaining. She'll make you laugh, and I think them 2 coming on together was a good thing, because I think she provided the emotional support too for Tammy to make sure, and you know, she kept it light and funny too on a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And also talked about her own struggles with things. And that was an episode that we've, you know, obviously, so we've had a lot of past guests even reach out, you know, to say they would like to talk about their own mental health struggles. So it's definitely going to be an ongoing thing. And yeah, we're definitely beyond grateful that they decided to come on and share their stories with us.
Absolutely. Next episode was episode 78 with Starla.
Oh God.
The roller derby badass.
One of the sweetest
Female.
girls, one of the sweetest
absolutely.
people you could meet. But then when you saw that YouTube video, fuck. Like
Badass.
Piss her
Badass.
off, I fucking dare you. Yeah, go ahead.
Badass. She kick your ass.
Yeah, like what a like, talk about fucking night and day. But no, I mean, for me personally, leg injuries make me so fucking queasy. And I made a video about that episode because I literally was, I mean, that was probably the episode if there was any, like, if I hear leg injuries, my legs I get pain.
Starts
And, like,
twitching.
my legs I remember when she said it, like both of my legs were just fucking, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Badass. But what a good guest though.
Awesome
great
guest to
fucking
have.
great person.
Absolutely. We went a few more later without guests. The next one came up on March 21st. That was my wife, Danielle Warhowski.
Oh my God, we're in the wife segment.
The wife segment begins. Yes.
All right. So to say this real quick from my end, I laughed because I've only spoken to Danielle a few times, but Danielle has like the thing that I think that I admire most about her with not even knowing her that well, and she's fucking blunt. She ain't gonna pull no punches. And that was my, like, I felt like I was laughing because if she would say something like jab at you, I was like like just laughing like I was a little kid, like look at your wife just busting your ass.
Your wife
But
just,
dude,
Yours was next.
she was so, but what a good guest though, man. And I loved her response of how, you know, you would deal with a lot of, you know, with as her being a
the
wife.
view.
Yeah.
It would be the view from the wife's point of view of being the wife of a driver.
It was.
who works
It
for
would
this
be.
company.
It might be. It might sound quote unquote tough, but I think it's the best way you could go about it, man. I really do. I really do.
Absolutely. Next up after that, continuing with the wife segment, episode 82 was your wife, Ashley Painter,
Oh, what do we say?
which is now 8 months pregnant.
8 months pregnant, and what did she want more than anything? Like, I was trying to, because our house, we have a 1-story house. It's not like a big house, but the basement's big, and the basement's where I record. And I remember I asked her, I was like, "Do you just want to come downstairs and sit with me?" And she said, No, that's uncomfortable. Like, I just have this wooden chair. It's uncomfortable as shit.
That's right.
But I remember she just, like, I was so excited for her to come on because for the longest time, at least in the beginning, and she literally just, she just kind of did it on her own. I never said
she
anything.
nailed it.
But, like,
She was great.
She would always come down in the early days and say hello, and then she kind of quit doing that. And
Yeah.
I never really, like, I don't know exactly why she stopped doing that. I don't know if just because she realized, you know, we were going to be gone for a while. I don't know, but she's always wanted to have, like, you know, with all of us talking, with me, you know, you, Nate, Joe, and Amy, and all of us, if we brainstorm ideas, like, she's always been such a good sport with stuff, but, like, she's wanted to be involved or help out in some way. So when that happened, when we did the wife thing, I was like, I got one for you. I think you're going to be. And it was a very good episode, and I was happy that it worked out, and our dogs weren't complete fucking assholes. That was the first episode I literally I sprinted up the steps twice to grab that piece of shit.
And I mean,
Shih Tzu.
even with, like, the whole, like, we were just talking about the wives who are, you know, the wives of drivers, and then, you know, losing them for whatever hours of the night it goes to whatever they're working to, whether it be 9 to 6, 9 to 7, 9 to 8, 9 to 9, even 9 to 10. Some drivers get home at 10 p.m. You know, but here's our wives that are there, and, you know, they know we have to podcast once a week to keep the momentum going.
It's been, you know, they're really
And-
good sports with shit. That is
Absolutely.
so true. It doesn't seem like it would be a lot, and I can't even say it from the level that you have it at, because I'm currently, well,
Don't worry, buddy,
I
it's
mean,
coming.
I'll say
coming.
currently. I may be with a daughter when you hear this, but I'm just saying, yeah, man, it's a testament, man, and it's all, if you don't have the support of your spouse, it's not going to work.
It's true.
It's not going to work. Because even
It's true.
if you try to push through it, that level of negativity is going to come through on the product. You know what I mean? So if you don't have support of your significant other, then, well, especially with something like this, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's gonna be
Right.
tough.
I mean, this is something that we do weekly, except on holidays that the company has off, then we have off too. But it's it's a thing where not only are we working Monday through Friday, some nights long nights, but some nights we got to record, whether that be the weekend, and then that's another night that okay, the wives are in bed and we're not there with them, but they know what we have. They know that we enjoy doing it, and like you said, the support that we have from the wives is fantastic.
Absolutely. As
So.
I could say it.
Next one is from episode 83. This is where we learned about polar bears. This is where we learned about how crazy some moose are. This is the Alaskan Tony.
Tony, and I'm sorry that I had to bust you out for pissing, but like I said, brother, you went into another room. I literally pissed in the bottle when I saw a toilet. So just remember that. Remember that you're good. And brother, what a fucking episode to say. Alaska is totally another world.
Dude,
It is literally another
one
world.
of the craziest things that blew my mind was the story that he told about how when they're at his kid's game, and there's like people up in these towers with guns if there were to be any polar bears running across the field or whatever, and the people got to shoot him.
Like
Can you
that?
imagine, like, in the middle of a football game, it's like second and 7, they're making a run play, all of a sudden,
Dude,
just
that's what I
shooting
would
the
do.
polar bear
If I
down.
was if
What the fuck?
the opposing coach, I'd be like, release the polar bear. We're gonna fucking traumatize. We're gonna traumatize these kids, and
Oh
we're
my
gonna
God.
beat their ass in the second half. Nah,
But like,
man.
I wonder if it phases them. Like, I wonder if it phases the kids.
I mean, that was in. He said, I think that was in Barrow because I asked him about Barrow.
That's
and
right.
He was saying, but I mean, it being another world that it is. Like he was saying with moose, I mean, fuck, dude, they gotta plug their trucks and their cars in every fucking little bit of, because every shit'll freeze.
right?
Like they have stations where they have to plug shit in, or their shit's not gonna
It's gonna
work.
freeze because of the temperature. Yeah,
God damn.
wild shit. Next one up, we had episode 88 with Daniel the Warrior.
Oh, dude, I'm getting fucking chills just thinking of you, brother. To say this guy, Daniel, he had messaged me a couple times. He'd been adamant he wanted to come on, and anytime anybody ever messages that and they say they want to come on the podcast, that just jumpstarts me to want to get them on even more, because I'm like, that makes me that much happier that you enjoy it and you want to come on. And the thing with him that I loved is, one, he listened to fucking metal music, and he would do these spontaneous workouts, and but just like most metal listeners, just like Clay, he said him and Clay went to undergrad together. Now, I don't know Clay personally, but I know Clay well enough from recording an episode with him, just like Daniel, that they're not coming out of the gates throwing haymakers, maniac, screaming. You know what I mean? They just happen to like the hard shit, and and I just like to make sure I always include that, because I feel like the stereotype gets fucking brought in. But nah, dude, Daniel was the fact that he also said, I mentioned that with his college shit, that he made the decision to go into UPA or to the company. I'm trying to make you work over there, Nate. I'm sorry, but but yeah, man, what a good episode and a good dude, and just a hell of a fucking motivator, and another California guy.
That's right. California, like I said, was hopping. Next up, we had episode 90. Last but not least, I mean, there may be a couple episodes that you guys may hear, but because we are currently recording this slightly early,
We're
together,
recording this early because the laws of nature was probably not going to allow me to do this on the actual 100th episode. So,
right.
for the
Our 100th episode would have fallen very close to the due date of Ashley and Luke's baby.
So now you'll get for our last recap for the couple. There will be guests in between this, but to make sure that you know that recap will happen on 200. Kayla was also one thing about Kayla that made it. She was the newest Patreon, the last Patreon. Mm-hmm. So when you went down the list, that was the first time ever that we literally were like, and speaking of, jump right in.
Right.
And her being like a new listener, what was kind of fucking wild that I always
Not only a new listener.
She was a new listener and a new driver. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I asked you something that I don't even remember what the fuck I said. I was like, I might have said that, Dave. And she was like, oh, yeah, you did. I was like, oh, fuck.
Dude,
okay.
She did.
Yeah.
Because she was binging all the episodes.
Because I remember, I was like, okay, yeah, she knows. She's definitely been listening.
She was like, oh, yeah. You said that.
But no, she, what a solid episode, man. And just her backstory of bouncing around and her, honestly, she had the idea that I thought was genius because she was so fresh. As we literally record this, when this gets released, that'll be not much. I mean, fuck, she's only been driving 2 months, you know, or January. She's been full-time January. It's been longer than 2 months. Anyway, she had the idea to come on and, you know, interview her after peak. And that was actually her, like, thought. She was saying it like, I'm not trying to come on, but just as an idea. That's the way. And I was like, yeah, no, man. Because like I said with Daniel, I said, anybody that expressed interest, I fucking love. And most people, I feel like, are timid about that. But no, if you want to come on, by all means, please message. And don't ever think it's weird because we all fucking love it. It's awesome. It's what we fucking live for. And if you want to come on this thing, it just makes us that much easier for us to find you.
Right. And just like Amy said earlier, you know, when we had the Earl episode, that's when, you know, like she realized like this is good. This is great. And that's what we want to do is we want to have you guys on to talk about your story, to talk about your life, and we want to get to know you. So like Luke said, don't think it's weird. Send us a DM, you know, say, hey, you know, I'd love to be on your podcast. That's totally fine. That's what Kayla did. That's what quite a few other of our guests did as well. And
it like I said, it makes it because we want, for every story that wants to be told, we want to fucking, if you want to tell it, man, we will be, as long as we're fucking on this side of the goddamn grass, we'll tell it.
That's right. Luke?
Didn't mean to GD it, but, you know, I needed to make a statement.
Buddy, that is all that we have. We went through all the guests that have been on the All in a Delivery podcast.
I knew once we got to 50, I was like, we'll get through because we changed the format up a little bit. But awesome. God, what a trip. What a trip it was to get through them all.
Absolutely. First of all, I mean, I don't even know if there's anybody even left listening right now because we've been going for over 2 hours. So who knows if there's anybody listening. But if you are listening, thank you guys so much. Also, don't forget, a huge shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. If you want to become a Patreon subscriber, check the link in the description that's in this episode. Episode 100. Holy fuck. Episode 100 is now in the books, buddy.
I feel like I should say later, everybody, but I'm going to hang out with this guy for a little bit longer.
That's right. We're going to go have some drinks. Rogan's, thank you guys. It's been awesome just to be together for the first time ever. And Tony flying in from Atlanta, Georgia. Just fucking amazing. Nate is here with us as well, our producer, everybody that you guys hear us talk about every episode. Quite a few of us are together here tonight, and we can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. Guys, this is episode 100 now in the books. Everybody, don't forget, continue delivering greatness, and don't forget your most important stop, all right? We will see you guys later.
Later, everybody.
Oh, damn, we can't believe it.